What's up everybody, welcome to another episode of China Update, where I provide you guys with the most up-to-date political, economic and geostrategic analysis on the world's number 2 economy. My name is Tony, let's jump in. Okay, happy Thursday everybody, I hope you're doing well, almost at the end of the week and the end of the year. Xi'an's 13 million residents are in their 8th day of a strict lockdown, and the situation, the worst China has seen since the original Wuhan lockdown in early 2020, is not improving. On Wednesday, yesterday, in response to residents taking to social media to ask for help getting food and other supplies, Chinese officials admitted that they are facing challenges getting enough food and supplies to people. The local government expressed in an official announcement, quote, "Low staff attendance and difficulties in logistics and distribution," end quote, was resulting in shortages of supplies for the millions of people who cannot leave their homes in the ancient city. We remember that on Monday, local officials in Xi'an made the already strict lockdown even stricter, with millions of residents told not to leave their homes except for virus testing. Before this, residents were permitted to send one person per household out every few days for necessities. Many supermarkets and delivery services are now out of service. One online comment that has been trending for a period expressed, quote, "Food delivery drivers were stopped at the entrance of my residential compound. I was yelled at when I asked police officers about food. They told me to contact community workers in my neighborhood and assured me that I wouldn't starve to death. After much struggle, I brought a VIP vegetable package online for 98 RMB, but then got my order cancelled due to low stock. This is terrible. The Xi'an government is rotten to the core," end quote. Today, the hashtag in Xi'an buying groceries is hard, Xi'an 买菜难, has been viewed over 300 million times on Weibo. Meanwhile, health authorities in the city are still also struggling to establish a clear train of transmission from this latest cluster of COVID cases, something that other more competent cities like Hangzhou a few weeks ago was able to do within 48 hours. According to the Provincial Health Commission, officials have been able to source the initial epicenter to the Xi'an International Airport, but the link from that to a citywide outbreak is still completely unknown. As of the filming of this, Xi'an has undergone 5 rounds of mass testing, that is over 60 million tests in just over a week, and yet new cases are still being discovered. Yesterday, Wednesday, we saw 150 new local cases in Xi'an. Though this may sound tiny to someone in, say, North America or Europe, in a country pursuing a zero cases policy, this is highly disruptive. And speaking of disruptive, since the beginning of the week we have been discussing the economic and supply chain damage that this lockdown could cause. We confirmed yesterday that South Korean technology giant Samsung, which has a $26 billion chip factory in Xi'an, has had to greatly reduce operations, a move which could affect 15% of global NAND flash memory chips used for data storage in data centers, smartphones and other technology products. However, yesterday, Seoul, South Korea-based analysts said chips made in Samsung's Xi'an NAND plant mainly go to China's domestic market, not overseas. Now, Micron Technology Inc., one of the world's biggest memory chip suppliers, has also warned that the city lockdown will cause delays in the supply of its DRAM memory chips, expressing that they simply cannot staff their manufacturing site. And just generally speaking, in terms of the economy, the city of Xi'an, which is under a highly strict lockdown, represents about 1% of China's GDP. In yet another bellicose warning in recent months, on Wednesday, yesterday, at a media press conference, a spokesperson for the so-called Taiwan Affairs Office in Beijing warned that the mainland will act if Taiwan makes moves towards independence, and expressed that the Taiwan Strait situation will likely further intensify next year. Quote, "If separatist forces in Taiwan seeking independence provoke, exert force, or even break through any red line, we will have to take drastic measures," end quote. Meanwhile, state media continues to push the idea that the instability in the Taiwan Strait that we've seen in recent months are the direct and sole cause of US moves, with the state-run Global Times today writing, quote, "As the US and Taiwan authorities continued to stoke the situation, military security risks rocketed in the northern part of the South China Sea, as warships, submarines, survey ships, spy aircraft, and fighter jets of different parties were seen operating in this region. The US will likely sell more weapons to the island of Taiwan, continue to help train the island's armed forces, or provide military intelligence and expand military exchanges, including inviting Taiwan to join the US-led Rim of the Pacific exercise." Okay, next up, let's go through some key economic and financial updates from China over the last day or so. Quickly, if you're enjoying the episode, don't forget to hit the like button. It's the only way this video can be shown to new people. And if you're watching this for the first time, you're getting some value from the episode, maybe consider subscribing, hit that bell notification, and you'll have the most up-to-date analysis when I release these every day. Okay, let's move on. In a statement on Tuesday, Ant Group Co. announced that it will be shutting down its very popular health care platform, Xianghubao. This is just the latest in a series of shutdowns in the industry amid a tightening regulatory environment for online insurance outlets. Launched in late 2018, the platform had offered basic health plans covering 100 types of critical illnesses, from cancer to heart attacks. The platform had nearly 75 million members. In an announcement that led to an 8% stock price rise in Shenzhen on Tuesday, Worsens Energy Co. Limited announced that it is planning to build a 45 billion RMB, $7 billion integrated solar power factory in Inner Mongolia, run entirely on solar, wind, and other renewable energy storage facilities. The plant is the first major solar power factory built outside of Xinjiang, which has attracted tremendous international concern in recent years. And speaking of renewable energy, Los Angeles-based investment firm Windbush Securities Inc. this week told investors that due to, quote, robust Chinese demand, end quote, Elon Musk's EV company Tesla Inc. could gain nearly 30% over the next 12 months in value, with analyst Daniel Ivins expressing, quote, "The linchpin to the overall bull thesis on Tesla remains China, which we estimate will represent 40% of deliveries for the EV market in 2022. End quote. I can say anecdotally that I see Teslas everywhere here in China, and despite PR difficulties earlier in the year, the brand appears to be very popular amongst consumers here. Okay, last up, crisis and debt-ridden China Evergrande Group, who already have $19 billion in international bonds in cross-default after missing a deadline earlier this month, have defaulted again this week. According to several separate media outlets, Evergrande failed to make new coupon payments worth $255 million due on Tuesday for its 2023 and 2025 notes. These payments now enter a 30-day grace period, after which time it really becomes a hard default. The market did not react well to the news on Thursday morning, this morning, with share prices being hit hard, reversing the modest price gains from earlier in the week after Evergrande announced that it was back to its construction work, which we discussed in detail on Monday's episode of China Update. Meanwhile, another issue to add to Evergrande's growing list, in a statement yesterday, Wednesday, Hong Kong's biggest property sales agency, Centerline Property Agency, announced that it plans to take further legal action against a subsidy of China Evergrande Group to recoup quote-unquote unpaid commission of 113 million Hong Kong dollars, approximately $15 million. However, quite frankly, if this agency wants its money back, it's likely going to have to wait in line with everybody else. Hey guys, I'd love to hear what you thought about some of the updates we covered in today's episode, so throw your comments below. Always love hearing from you. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.